Hey guys, how's it going? So we're going to do the Earth, Fire, Water, and Wind Fiends Boss Rush EXT. Boom! That is a lot of words. We're going to do it with no items, nobody being KO'd, and party of 4 or less. So we have the party of 4 or less, we won't be using items, and nobody's going to die. This is going to be a pretty easy run. I will show the gear right on screen right now. It's on screen. It's scrolling through. So Dethroned Heroine Ash is extremely important to the way that we're going to be doing this today. She is just, she's necessary for this, okay? She is a 5-star unit. She goes to 7-star. You can get her for some select summon tickets. Why she is important is because almost all of the AI and the bosses can be negated. You can just make them not do it. And she's going to be doing that. She's going to be using a sealing move that she puts 3 seals on them, so their moves don't get used, and it seals almost all of their moves. Now, this usually doesn't work because most bosses aren't tagged as like having like using like magics or whatever it is that their tag is. It's not sealable, but for this time, it is. So great. So let's go ahead and look at the gear. We have Dethroned Heroine Ash, and she's built for lots of spirit and lots of MP recovery. If you can only build her for one thing, build her for as much MP recovery as you can, because this move, which costs 429 MP, you're going to be using every turn. So I built her for spirit and MP recovery. Things like Arden's Hat regen you 10% MP per turn, and all of those things, those kind of things stacked together. Battle Boots reduces the MP consumed, so we also have that. And then Future Emperor, if she ever takes any damage, she's going to AoE heal MP on a counter, hopefully. We're not using a vision card. And I have Black Choker on her, which comes from Pain, because at the start of each match, hopefully she'll cast HP restoration per turn. Hopefully. So she'll cast at the beginning of every turn. She'll give somebody a little bit of HP restoration. Hopefully. All right, White Dragon Ling. We don't use anything in her brave or in her base form. In her Brave Shift form, we have her built for LB fill rate boost. Okay, LB fill rate boost. So all of these items here have LB gauge fill rate boost. And that's basically because all of her skills in her Brave Shift form use her LB, so we really need those. We have Call the Wild and Advanced Weaponry to kind of get some preemptives. If you do not have White Dragon Ling, okay? Some people are already telling me, hey, I don't have White Dragon Ling. All right, well, here's what you're going to do. You're going to use any one of these units, because mainly all she does is cast 2 stacks of Mirage. Squall can, if you do not have her, find any other unit from this list and have them cast 2 stacks of Mirage. And then Squall would use his self Fire Imbue and still chain with Runda, which is what we'll be doing. But if you do not have Ling, just get any other unit and have them spam the AoE Mirage 2 stacks every turn. So that's Tiana. Tiana can use Airy Green Concoction, dodge 2 physical attacks. Renora can use Double Conductor, dodge 2 physical attacks. Mazurka can use Emotional Slash, dodge 2 physical attacks. Adam Jensen can use Stealth Enhancer, dodge 2 physical attacks. Assassin Shadow, he also has it. He doesn't have it until you awaken him to Neo Vision, I believe. He might have it at 7-star, but he has Concealing Shadow, which is negate or dodge 2 physical attacks for 2 turns to all allies. But the boss is going to use its move that takes away from that every turn. So you just have to use this move every turn. Kamari does 2 dodges. Okay. And Let's see if I can scroll to the next one. And Laguna and Ninja Edge. Laguna does 2 physical attacks. If you have Laguna, you could probably also slap some extra DPS on him. Ninja Edge does 2 physical attacks. Dodge, and then we're back to Renora. Okay? Let's continue. That's if you don't have Ling. You can still do this. Okay? Lionheart. Red Hellbore. Glacial Battle Garb. I just built him for as high of attack as I could get him. And with Reaper and a little Dragon Killer on him and a little Aquatic Killer. Alright. I'm going to switch his Vision card to Ling's Vision card. Scroll down. Where's that Ling Vision card at? You guys get to see my Vision cards. I have way too many. Alright. So since we have Ling in the party, we're going to use Ling's Vision card. But again, it's just for get him with that high attack and get him with the killers relevant to the fight, which are Undead, Dragon, and Aquatic. Okay? And then Runda. Runda is the tricky one. Runda has to be full evade. And then once you have him with full evade, you build him for as high of HP and defense as you can. Okay? HP defense as high as you can. So, oh, you also have to make sure everybody has paralysis immunity. So in some way, make sure everybody has paralysis immunity. Also, Squall will need blind immunity. All right, back to Runda. Runda needs to have full evasion, so we're getting that with Runda Shield, Double Ring of the Lucii, and Sea Dragon. We're getting a lot of the status element resistance off of Winged Heart. Also, Runda, I'm running at 100% fire, ice, and lightning resistance because Tiamat, the final boss, does do those, and it helps us take a little bit less damage on the last boss. In ranked, we have Grand Helm ++, Imperial Armor, Defender. Defender comes off of Loyal Knight Steiner. Then we have Shield of the Chosen King, Warrior from Another World, and the Vision card I put is Kooky Chef. If you have another one that's better for HP defense, please use it. Okay, so that is the build. Dethroned Heroine Ash, as much MP as you can get on her. MP refresh. That's what she needs. MP refresh. Ling, get her LB up there so she can actually use her moves. So the LB fill rate. Squall, damage and killers. Runda, evasion, HP defense. Also, make sure everybody has paralysis immunity. All right, let's go in, and I'll show you the setup for turn 1, and then you could just hit repeat afterwards. So let's do this. All right, so it starts off with a area effect defense boost. Now this will be for all of the battles. So I wish we could use a mage, but there's not that many NVA mages that are capable of doing this. So we're gonna use Squall. All right, so the moves we're going to use are Dethroned Heroine Ash is going to use triple Royal Quickening. That's just triple cast. And then she's going to use Grand Flame just to chain a little bit with Runda and Squall. Then she's going to use Dusk Shard. Dusk Shard does the 3 sealing moves and the magic 90% reduction for caster. Really, it's the 3 sealing moves that are going to prevent the bosses from doing 3 moves per turn. And then Mist Decoy. Mist Decoy is going to be targeted on Runda. So Runda will have 100% provoke, and then also Runda will have 30% physical and magical damage reduction. Okay, so let's go ahead and do that. All right, now it's Runda's turn. Runda's going to use triple Android Partner, and he's just going to do Bolting Strike Chaining and Attack Magic Break twice, and then Physical Cover for the party. Okay, Lone Lion Squall is going to use triple. He's going to use Accelerator Edge twice, and then he's going to use Rough Divide, which is a defense break and a pretty hefty damaging move. Okay, so hopefully your turn 1 gave your Ling enough LB crystals. If it didn't, you can reset the fight. So it gave her enough LB crystals to use the... We're only going to use double cast. Don't use triple cast because she'll lose it. All right, so double cast, and we're just going to use refreshing twirl, and then either light or fire imbue for these bosses. I'm going to go with light imbue. All right, so you do light imbue. You wait a second. Let everybody come back. And here's where I'm just going to hit everybody at once. And now we should just be able to hit repeat from every turn afterwards. All right, so see, everybody's good. They all got those crystals and everything. So you should just be able to hit repeat. Now, why does this work? This works because the boss is going to be doing magic attacks, but the magic attacks are all going to be negated by Ash. We can still get things like imperils applied to Runda, but the fire damage that the Lich does, for instance, won't hit. The imperil will hit, but the fire damage won't. The AoE death, yeah, the boss will use the move, but it gets sealed. It doesn't get allowed to be used. It's just Dethroned Heroine Ash is preventing the boss's complete AI, almost, to a degree. Things like basic attacks and stuff still proc. Okay, so let's just go ahead and finish this up, and then I'll show you the next fight out of the 4. Since we're using the handy dandy repeat function, it's just going to use the same move again. Same moves. And we're going to go to the second wave now. Second wave is going to be Merilith. And we're just going to keep doing the same thing. It's just Dethroned Heroine Ash is making Runda provoke. Runda's got the mitigation on him if your ever does get hit. Runda's using physical cover. Attack magic breaking. Loneland Squall is doing our DPS. And Ling is just doing physical 2 stacks of Mirage and Light Imbue. But everything does kind of like center on that Dethroned Heroine Ash using that sealing move. See, we see the death animation from moves like what we just saw from Merilith, but it doesn't get to hit because we sealed it up. All right, so let's go ahead and skip to the next one. All right, so we just finished up Merilith, and we're moving on to Kraken. All right, now if you are going to be using the without White Dragon Ling, you could just keep hitting repeat. But since we have White Dragon Ling here, we're gonna switch from our Light Imbue to our Fire Imbue. So that's gonna be Refreshing Twirl and Fire Imbue, because this guy is just a lot more resistant to light. So we're just gonna switch it. But if you just leave it on repeat, that's fine too, because the Imperil is over what the boss's resistance is, so you'd still be doing damage. It would just take longer. Leave it up, leave it up, leave it repeating. I see it. So we do take a little bit of damage from this guy on his AoE stuff, but it's not enough to matter, and we heal back from it, so it's okay. short of the healing because of her refreshing twirl being a 8,000 heal, 8,000 HP heal. It does help out a little bit with that. All right. Back at it. We're moving on now to the final one. The final one, Tiamat, being the most difficult. But see, here's the thing. We don't have to change anything. You technically don't even have to change anything from the first stage. You can just hit repeat from the very beginning and just let it go all the way through. You can go out, get a coffee, come back. That's it. No. All right, now turn 2, you have to switch to none of that. None of that. This is it. Just hit repeat. You get all the bosses done. You get all the rewards. Easy mode. We are going to see Runda take some damage from this, but it's fine and he'll survive. I will say though, if your Runda is not as thick as mine is, you could definitely guard on specific turns or use Runda's LB on specific turns through Tiamat, because Tiamat can be quite destructive towards your physical cover tank. So if your physical cover tank does end up taking a lot of damage here, more than mine is, I guess, then guard him on a few turns until his HP gets back up there. If he goes down to like, 10% or something like that, start guarding a few turns so he takes less damage, but never lose that physical cover that he's got. Always make sure he's got his physical cover. See, like what just happened there that turn? If that happened again, I would probably just guard that next turn, because I wouldn't want him to dip below that like 10%. And see, he goes up there, he gains a little bit of HP, and he takes a little bit of damage, but he doesn't dip below. So I'd do like 2 turns of guarding, and then I would do physical cover again, because I would never want to lose the physical cover. I don't want that to go away. He really can be quite destructive. All right, but that's it. I'll see you guys at the end of the fight. All right, now we're at the end. Took till turn 17 for me. Might take a little bit longer, a little bit faster for you, depending on how well you can gear your Lone Lion Squall. But, well, turn 17, it looks like this might be, yeah, that doesn't kill it. So I'm doing like 4% per turn. Yeah, that's fine, right? Come on, Tiamat, let's go down. Let's go down. Come on. Come on. It's the end of you. There you go. All right. Tiamat is down, and that is the last of the 4 fiends. Completely easy repeat mode. Okay. So, let's do damage details. Let's check that out. Look at that Lone Lion Squall's damage. Also, Runda helped out a little bit. The Throne Heroine Dash helped out a little bit. All right. Oh, we leveled up her Limit Burst. Oh, shit. Okay, so again, that is party of 4 or less completed. Nobody died and no items. You need Dethroned Heroine Ash. Everybody else you can switch around a little bit. Dethroned Heroine Ash was doing the moves that she did, the nullification. Ling did AoE heal, AoE mirage, 2 stacks specifically, and either fire or light and view. Squall just did damage and defense break. Runda did attack, magic break, and physical cover. Okay? Alright, hope this guide helped you guys out. Much love, and peace.